Now I am going to explain how to use Lagrange multipliers for solving a Lagrange partial differential equation. Suppose you are having an auxiliary equation, say dx by p equal to dy by q equal to dz by r. There may be times when you cannot consider the ratios for direct integration, where direct integration seems impossible. In that case, we use the Lagrange multiplier method because you cannot separate the variables while you are integrating. In that case, you can use this Lagrange multiplier. Now I will explain this with the help of an example. I am considering the example of numbers. Say you have a ratio 1 by 2, you know it is same as 2 by 4 and it is same as 3 by 6. All these ratios are same, which is 1 by 2. If I consider only the first and second ratio, I am considering only first and second ratio, and these ratios is also equivalent to, I am adding the numerator and denominator of both the ratios, 1 plus 2 divided by 2 plus 4. So numerators I have added and denominators also I have added, and which is nothing but 3 by 6, which is again 1 by 2. So this ratio is also equivalent to 1 plus 2 divided by 2 plus 4. Say I am adding second and third ratio. So 2 plus 3 divided by 4 plus 6, which is again 5 by 10, which is again 1 by 2. So all these ratios are also equivalent to this ratio. Say I am adding all the three ratios in the numerator as well as denominator. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 divided by 2 plus 4 plus 6, which is again 6 by 12, which is nothing but 1 by 2. So here it is not applicable only for addition, I can even subtract. Say if I am subtracting the first two ratios, say 1 minus 2 divided by 2 minus 4, it is also same as 1 by 2. If I subtract second and third ratio, so 2 minus 3 divided by 4 minus 6, it is also again 1 by 2. So anything seems to be possible. Even you can add and subtract as well. See, I am adding the first two ratios in the numerator and then I subtract the third ratio. In this case, the numerator becomes 0, so I am not using that. Say I am subtracting the first two ratios and then adding with the third ratio. 2 minus 4 plus 6. This also gets the same ratio, which is 2 by 4, which is nothing but 1 by 2. Okay, so I hope it is clear now, and these ratios are also equivalent to this ratio. If I say I am multiplying, I am using the multipliers, say 1, minus 1 and 1. I am using these as the multipliers. When I say I am using these as the multipliers, that means I multiply this multiplier with the first ratio in the numerator and denominator. I multiply this with the second ratio in the numerator and denominator, and I multiply this with the third ratio in the numerator and denominator. Let us see what happens. So if you are multiplying 1 for the numerator and denominator in the first ratio, say 1 into 1 divided by 1 into 2. In the second ratio, I am multiplying by minus 1. So minus 1 into 2 divided by minus 1 into 4. In the third ratio, I am multiplying again by 1. So 1 into 3 divided by 1 into 6. Now what I am going to do is I am going to add all the numerators and denominator. So here, after adding 1 into 1 plus minus 1 into 2 plus 1 into 3 divided by, I have added only the numerators and I am going to add the denominators. So 1 into 2 plus minus 1 into 4 plus 1 into 6, which is nothing but 1 minus 2 minus 1 plus 3, which is 2, 2 by 4, 2 by 4, which is again 1 by 2. see that I can call these 1 minus 1 and 1 as the Lagrange multipliers, because these ratios is also equal to writing this ratio. Say if I use the multipliers L, M, N, what does this mean? I am multiplying L with the first ratio, M with the second ratio, and N with the third ratio, and this ratio is equal to L dx plus M dy plus N dz, the whole divided by, I told you, you have to multiply L only for the first ratio and M for the second ratio and N for the third ratio. Now this auxiliary equation is also equivalent to writing this ratio, where L, M, N are called the Lagrange multiplier. But while we are solving the problems, we make sure to select L, M, N such a way that this denominator LP plus MQ plus NR will be equal to 0, or the whole term must be integrable. If we are able to integrate the whole term, then we can choose such Lagrange multiplier. Either the denominator must be 0 or the whole term must be integrable. I hope it is clear. Now let us solve some few problems on Lagrange multiplier. Now let us solve another problem on Lagrange partial differential equation. Problem 3. Solve mz minus ny into dou z by dou x plus nx minus lz into dou z by dou y equal to ly minus mx. Now this equation appears in the form capital P small p plus capital Q small q equal to capital R, where small p is dou z by dou x, small q is dou z by dou y, and p, q, r are the functions of x, y, z. Now comparing these two equations, we can write what is p, q, r. Capital P is the coefficient of small p, that is the coefficient of dou z by dou x, which is mz minus ny. And capital Q is the coefficient of small q, that is dou z by dou y. Coefficient of dou z by dou y is nx minus lz, and capital R is the right hand side term, which is ly minus mx. Make sure R is always in the right hand side, and p, q, r, they are the functions of x, y, z. Now let us write down the auxiliary equation. Our auxiliary equation is dx by p, dy by q, dz by capital R. Now let us substitute all p, q, r in this auxiliary equation. So we get dx by mz minus ny, dy by nx minus lz, dz by ly minus mx. Okay, now if you are going to adopt the previous methods for finding out the solutions by direct integration, it seems impossible, because we cannot separate x, y, z from any of these three ratios. If you consider first and second ratio, you cannot separate the variables, as well as second and third, you cannot separate the variables, as well as if you choose first and third ratio, you cannot separate the variables, and separating the variables seems to be impossible. That is the reason we are going to use the Lagrange multipliers for solving this and finding a solution of our Lagrange partial differential equation. Now how is this possible? I told you, you have to choose the multipliers in such a way that the denominators after multiplying with the Lagrange multiplier becomes 0. Either it must be becoming 0 or the whole ratio must be integrable. Now if I choose LMN as a multiplier, so choose LMN as a multiplier. Let us see what happens if you choose LMN. See, all these selecting the multipliers comes with practice. You have to practice this a lot, only then you will get to know what are the multipliers you have to select. So I have multiplied by L for the first ratio, M for the second ratio, and N for the third ratio, and L, M, N are all constants, pure constants, they are not the variables. So here L into mz minus ny plus m into nx minus lz plus n into ly minus mx. Now let us open the brackets and find out what is this exactly, which is nothing but L dx plus m dy plus n dz the whole divided by, after opening the brackets we get lmz minus lny plus mnx minus mlz plus nly minus nmx. Okay, so we have terms which are in opposite sign, minus lny plus nly plus lmz minus mlz, all are same but with the opposite sign. Now the denominator turns out to become 0. So when the denominator is 0, you know that each ratio in the auxiliary equation is equal to L dx plus m dy plus n dz the whole divided by 0. Now select any ratio, any one ratio from the auxiliary equation. I am selecting first ratio from the auxiliary equation. You know that all these ratios is also equivalent to this ratio. Our first ratio was dx divided by mz minus ny. This was our first ratio. Now if you bring this denominator to the right hand side, this whole thing becomes 0. So right hand side becomes 0. Thus we get L dx plus m dy plus n dz equal to, the whole thing right hand side becomes 0. Now you can integrate this further. So when you integrate this further, because all the variables L, M, N are all constants, so you can integrate this without any confusion. N dz equal to 0. L, M, N are constants. So after integrating this term by term, you know L is constant, so constant into variable plus again M is a constant, so constant into variable plus N is constant, so constant into variable equal to, you have constant say C1, you can call this as A. Now we have got a solution, Lx plus My plus Nz equal to A. You can call this solution as U. Okay, call this as equation number 2. Our auxiliary equation was equation number 1. Okay. See, I told you I have chosen L, M, N, and then easily I have got the answer. Similarly, you have to choose another set of multipliers to find out the second solution. So here I am going to choose the multipliers, say x, y, z. See, I told you have to choose the multipliers in such a way that after multiplying with the multipliers and then adding, the denominator becomes 0. Now if you multiply these multipliers to the denominator and add, let us see what happens. So you know that all these three ratios is equivalent to x dx plus y dy plus z dz. See, I told you I am multiplying the multipliers to the respective ratios, that is x for the first ratio, y for the second ratio, and z for the third ratio. So in the denominator also you have to do the same, that is x for the first ratio and y for the second ratio, and then adding, and z for the third ratio. Now after opening the brackets in the denominator, it turns out to become 0. Okay, now I am going to open the brackets xmz, xny, ynx, lyz, zly, mxz. See, you can cancel the terms which are common and opposite in sign. Now the denominator turns out to be 0. So x dx plus y dy plus z dz the whole divided by 0. I told you all these three ratios in the auxiliary equation is also equal to this ratio. So if I choose any ratio from this auxiliary equation, say I am selecting the second ratio now. You select whichever ratio you prefer, because it doesn't matter, it is going to become 0, because I multiply this, I bring this 0 to the right hand side. So when you bring that 0 to the right hand side, you will get x dx plus y dy plus z dz equal to 0. This whole thing becomes 0. So it doesn't matter which ratio you choose, it is going to become 0. Now all the variables are separated, isn't it? Here we have only x variable, y variable and a z variable. Now you can integrate term by term. You can add a constant, say c2. Thus you get x square by 2 since you have common denominator, we can write it as x square plus y square plus z square the whole divided by 2 is equal to c2, which is nothing but I bring that 2 to the right hand side. So x square plus y square plus z square equal to 2c2. I can call this as constant b. See, we have got another solution. I am calling that as v. X square plus y square plus z square equal to b. This is our second solution, calling that as equation number 3. So we have got our two solutions. What are two solutions? U and v, and our general solution of a Lagrange partial differential equation is phi of uv equal to 0. Now what is your u? U is Lx plus my plus nz, and what is our v? It is x square plus y square plus z square, which is equal to 0. Thus we have got our solution. Either you can write in this manner, or you can write u is equal to f of v, or v is equal to f of u. You can write in any manner you prefer, but we have a arbitrary function for that solution, that is Lx plus my plus nz is a function of x square plus y square plus z square. You can write either in this way or you can write in this way. Both are one and the same. Now let us solve our next question. Now let us solve another problem on Lagrange partial differential equation. Solve x square into y minus z into p plus y square into z minus x into q equal to z square into x minus y. Now this equation appears in the form pp plus qq equal to capital R. Now what are PQR? Capital P is the coefficient of small p, x square into y minus z. Capital Q is the coefficient of small q, y square into z minus x. And capital R is the right hand side, z square into x minus y, where capital P, Q, R are the functions of x, y, z. Now let us write down the auxiliary equation for solving the Lagrange partial differential equation, which is dx by p dy by q dz by r. Substitute all p, q, r in this ratio. Dx by Okay, now you can select any two ratios, and then you have to check whether you can separate the variables or not. If you consider any two ratios, say 1 and 2, you cannot separate all the variables x, y, z. As well as 2 and 3, as well as 1 and 3, we have the same problem, that is we cannot separate the variables. That is the reason we are going to apply Lagrange multipliers for solving the Lagrange partial differential equation. Now you have to select the multipliers in such a way that after multiplying with the multipliers and then adding the denominator, it must be either 0 or the whole term must be integrable. Now if you choose the multipliers like if you can cancel x square, if you can cancel y square, and if you can cancel z square, then you will be left out with only y minus z, z minus x, and x minus y. Now if you are adding all these, then you know it is going to be 0, isn't it? Now how is this possible? How can you cancel this x square, y square and z square? By multiplying 1 by x square, 1 by y square and 1 by z square, you can cancel this x square, y square and z square. I hope it is clear now. Okay, so that is the reason we are going to select 1 by x square and select 1 by y square and 1 by z square as the multipliers. Now if you are selecting, I told you, you have to multiply 1 by x square to the numerator and denominator of first ratio into x square into y minus z. Okay, and for the second ratio you have to multiply by 1 by y square, and then you have to add 1 by y square into z minus x, plus the third ratio you have to multiply by 1 by z square, and then add 1 by z square into x minus y. Okay, now you can see we can cancel the terms. In our previous problem we have selected the constants as the Lagrange multiplier. Say we have selected L, M, N, and then we have also used the variables x, y, z as a multiplier. Here also we are using the variables x square, y square, z square as the multipliers, but make sure that whatever you are going to multiply, it must be integrable. Now after simplifying the denominator, plus 1 by z square dz, the whole divided by, now the denominator turns out to be 0 because you know y minus z plus z minus x plus x minus y becomes 0, and if you choose this ratio is equal to any of the ratios in our auxiliary equation. Now this is our auxiliary equation. If you choose this ratio to equivalent to any of these ratios, I am choosing the first ratio, dx by x square into y minus z. Now if you bring this 0 to the right hand side, this whole thing becomes 0, so it doesn't matter which ratio you are going to select from our equation 1, and you get the ratio as 1 by x square dx, which is integrable, 1 by y square dy, which is again integrable, 1 by z square dz, this is also integrable, which is equal to 0. Now you can integrate this term by term. Okay, 1 by x square is nothing but it is x raised to minus 2. You know the integration, which is x raised to minus 2 plus 1 divided by minus 2 plus 1, which is nothing but x raised to minus 1 by minus 1, which is minus 1 by x. Okay, so I have written this only for x raised to minus 2. Similarly, you can integrate all the three terms in our equation. So your answer will be minus 1 by x plus 1 by y square integration will be minus 1 by y plus 1 by z square integration will be minus 1 by z equal to some constant, say c1. Now I am bringing all these negative terms common and then I can write it as 1 by x plus 1 by y plus 1 by z equal to minus c1. I can call that as a. Okay, so we have got a solution, say u is 1 by x plus 1 by y plus 1 by z, which is equal to a. We have got a solution, call that as equation number 2. Similarly, I am going to choose another set of multipliers so that the denominator becomes 0 or the whole ratio must be integrable. So here let us see what happens. In our first case I have selected 1 by x square, 1 by y square and 1 by z square. In our second solution, let us choose the multipliers as 1 by x, 1 by y, 1 by z. Choose these as the multipliers. Okay. Now after choosing these as the multipliers, now let us see what happens to our ratio. So you get 1 by x dx. I told you have to multiply 1 by x to the numerator and denominator of the first ratio. Our first ratio was 1 by x into x square into y minus z, and our second ratio was dy. So here you have to multiply by 1 by y, 1 by y, 1 by y into y square into z minus x, and our third ratio was dz by z square into x minus y. Okay, so in the third ratio we are going to multiply by 1 by z, and then we are going to make this denominator as common, and then we are going to add all these terms. Okay, see, you can simplify this. We have common terms, you can cancel the common terms, so you will be left out with 1 by x dx plus 1 by y dy plus 1 by z dz, the whole divided by, if you open the bracket, you get x into y minus z plus y into z minus x plus z into x minus y. If you open the bracket, the denominator becomes 0. So you get the ratio as 1 by x dx dz, the whole divided by 0, which is equal to any one of these ratios. I am taking the third ratio. It doesn't matter, you can choose any ratio. Anyway, it is going to become 0 because after multiplying bringing this 0 to the right hand side, it becomes 0. So you get 1 by x dx, 1 by y dy, 1 by z dz, which is equal to 0, which is integrable. All these terms are integrable, isn't it? So we can integrate this further term by term. 1 by x, the integral of 1 by x is log x, integral of 1 by y is log y, integral of 1 by z is log z. Since all the terms are log, I am going to select the constant as log itself, because I can cancel the log term, that is the reason. You know, log a plus log b plus log c is nothing but log of a, b, c. So I can write it as log of x, y, z, which is equal to log of c1. Thus, if you apply anti-log on both sides, you get x, y, z equal to c1. Since c1 is a constant, I am taking that as b. So you got x, y, z equal to b. This is our second solution. Now call this second solution as v. Thus we got a solution, call that as equation number 3. Now what was our equation number 2? It was 1 by x, 1 by y, 1 by z equal to a. This was our equation number 2. Now the general solution will be phi of uv equal to 0. This is the solution of Lagrange partial differential equation. So phi of 1 by x plus 1 by y plus 1 by z comma xyz equal to 0. This is the solution of Lagrange partial differential equation. Either you can write in this way, this is one way of writing, or else you can write u is equal to f of v. This is also another way of writing the solution. So 1 by x plus 1 by y plus 1 by z is equal to a function of x, y, z. This is also a solution. These two are the different methods of or interpretations of writing a solution.